Hello and welcome to Two Bald Men Fighting Over a Comb, a podcast in which two bald men skip daintily up to the fountain of knowledge and splash each other like two giddy teenagers. My name is Rob and I'm joined with the artist formerly known as Tom, and this show is a slightly different format to what we usually do. So, Tom, would you like to explain to the listeners what they are about to endure?
This week, while I've been driving around doing my job, I've been thinking of ideas.
Are you a taxi driver?
I'm not a taxi driver, no.
You ain't got the gut for it.
Whilst I've been driving around, I've been thinking of ways to make money, get-rich-quick schemes. I thought I would see if you had similar ideas.
Yeah, I've got some which are far-fetched or harebrained, if you wanted to, hair-braided, which we don't have, and some which I genuinely think, put a little bit of cash into them, may bear fruits, as they say. So do you want to kick this off then?
My first one is quite evil, but good at the same time.
Wow, this is intriguing.
So I don't know if you saw in the news recently, the Tour de France.
Yes.
There was a pile-up because a member of the public reached over the railing to take a selfie and clipped one of the cyclists whilst they're coming in to do their sprint, and they all went arse over tit.
It's happened before, hasn't it? Someone stood onto the tracks, like, "Hi, Gran," wallop. So.
But it got me thinking about selfies and the calamities that might happen. Like someone could die possibly whilst taking a selfie, and I googled that, and yes, people have indeed died.
Near trains, isn't it?
Yeah,
it seems to be a big
trains
one.
And like edges of mountains and things, and it got me thinking about the Darwin Awards and how if the right photograph of yourself is so important that you lose.
But hang on, what are the Darwin Awards?
Someone wins it for wiping themselves out of the gene pool by doing something incredibly stupid.
Okay. So what's your idea then?
I thought, who takes selfies? It's narcissists who take selfies or obsessed with selfies. Maybe we could do the world a service and we could either kill off a lot of narcissists or we could collect them in a certain way, like a mousetrap, and deposit them somewhere where they won't cause anyone any trouble.
So a bit like what we used to do in Victorian times with shipping them off to Australia, and then if they were badly behaved in Australia, they'd then get moved to Tasmania.
We could have a selfie booth, and it would be like maybe the size of a passport photograph cubicle, but it goes backwards. And the entrance to the booth is quite dark. And then at the back of the booth, it goes back quite far. There's like some sort of wild animal that's incredible to look at, like a lion, something scary, or maybe a shark in a tank. And then, so the person wants to take the selfie of themselves with the amazing animal or whatever it is, the freak show person with five nipples or whatever it is in the booth, but it's a bit dark. So they set up to take their selfie, they put the flash on it. At this point, they've walked into the booth to get a closer shot. And there's a trapdoor underneath the entrance. And as the flash goes off, it sets a little trigger off that lets the trapdoor go, and then you catch another narcissist. Or if you wanted to get rid of them, underneath you've got spikes.
Well, that's a bit. I mean, the thing is, you might have someone who's just not a narcissist and thinks, do you know what? It's not every day you see a tiger in central London. So you could. I mean,
Would you not just take a photo of it? Would you have to take a photo?
If it's a dark booth, you're going to have to go right in, aren't you? And most people would be like, look at this, you won't believe it. No, come on, look, you need to get in the shot to prove to me that it's real. You could have just taken a shot of whatever it was in some, science museum, or if it was like a shark in a tank, it could be, formaldehyde, Damien Hirst exhibition. I
think there would be collateral damage, but I think the value of eliminating these people from the gene pool if you kill them.
I mean, I find that a bit... when you're saying collateral damage, I mean, the thing is you could get someone who is like a leading scientist about to make a major breakthrough.
But at the same time, this wonderful scientist is a narcissist, so they're probably keeping several other wonderful scientists in their shadow by being completely self-serving at work.
Well, do you know what? The thing is, if I saw a lion, they might be saying, oh, I have my photograph taken with Daddy. It's like,
But then it's a narrow booth, so you can't fit a family in there. So if it's just people taking a photograph of their family or their mates, they can't do it. It's only the ones who go in on their own to take photographs of themselves with the line.
I don't know about that, actually. I find this a bit harsh. I'm not sold on this one.
You're not going to put your money into this one?
I'm not going to put my money... Well, the thing is, like, if someone fell through the trapdoor, word's going to get around pretty quick, aren't they? Isn't it, sorry, that there is a death booth.
Yeah. I hadn't thought about that.
Also, it is, I mean, fundamentally, it's murder as well, isn't it?
Is it murder or is it manslaughter?
It could also be animal cruelty as well. If you've got like some kind of lions trapped in some little cage, then you've got to feed it. And that's, of course, obviously the meat surplus.
Yeah, you feed them with the narcissist, don't you? You don't like that one, do you?
No, I'm not. I'm not sold on it because I think narcissist. I think it's the collateral damage.
Okay,
because do narcissists? I mean, do narcissists get things done as well? I mean, you could say. I mean, you look at some of the best inventions. Well, not best inventions, but if you look at through history, people who were narcissists but did good with it. They might have been complete and utter dickheads, but the
what's his
impact,
name? The one who made the TV.
Thomas Edison.
So yeah, Thomas Edison. He was a massive narcissist, wasn't he?
Yeah, but how many inventions did he make?
Maybe I should lay off the narcissists.
You're the most amazing guy.
Here is my idea, right?
Go on.
It's a bit like Big Brother. Could call it Pig Brother. Don't know. Haven't really thought of the name yet. But what it is, you get all these people who are obese, right? Really obese. And you put them in these houses. But then what you do is, once they're in, I don't know if you'd like tranquilise them or something for a little bit, just whilst you then went through and you narrowed all of the doorways, right? Severely, so they can't pass through it all.
Right,
and then what it is, they all start in one room. I think set it in winter. And then what it is that you have in there, these devices which are... They generate they generate electricity via kinetic energy. So the floor, the more they walk, which is obviously a low amount of low amount of energy from that. Exercise bikes, rowing machines, anything that kind of involves some form of energy. And the more they work at it, the more electricity they produce for heating, for television, all those things. Their food is prepared for them, which is, far from being like ultra-processed food. It's, healthy foods.
So you're doing this for the people. You're not doing this for entertainment.
Well, there'd be cameras in there. That'd be for entertainment for us, when they start weeping, when they're getting the withdrawals from the McDs and stuff. Yeah, the monosodium glutamate. And then as they become thinner, they can pass through a door. And it's open to another bit. Same principles apply to that room, but it's slightly bigger. There's more, and they will give them treats every now and then because I think it's unfair to, to completely, deny them that finger licking chicken.
And cold turkey.
Yeah, well, it'll be cold chicken, so I can see it. I just can't reach it. My big arm.
I think that's good. I think it's fat shaming though, and I don't think fat shaming.
Well, these people would volunteer to go in there because it's like, right, do you know what? I've tried everything.
It's like The Biggest Loser, isn't it? But with a sort of torture element to it.
No, I wouldn't say, well, I don't know. It would be open to people who wanted to go in there because it's like they could be a narcissist and say, I want a bit of fame, I want to be on the TV. But at the same time, I think it would. I mean, because they're in there for a certain period of time, right? So if these people decided just to do nothing and they could still be in that first room, fair enough, they're out. But the benefit would be that suddenly it's that they have become more accustomed to perhaps eating more natural foods prepared for them and getting them. It's almost, you could say it's like a detoxification of like the the food and the lifestyle that they had before. All right, they still might be a little bit more sedentary and stuff, but getting the good food in them and what have you. You have doctors around and...
What would happen if someone had like a serious medical episode?
Well, it would be like Big Brother. They'd have all these people nearby, and you can have like a removable wall, or the doors can be unlocked from the other side, so you can go in and assist them and get the crane ready to lift them out or whatever.
This leads on to one of my ideas, and maybe we can market it through your TV program. You get like slimming T-shirts, like marketed to men to sort of hold their man guts in their beer bellies to make it look like they got six packs.
All right.
And they like the
Is that what you're wearing at the moment?
I am indeed, yes. Similar thing for women to hold their gunts in. And,
what's a gun, Tom?
I don't think we need to go into that, do we?
Well, it's been a while for you. And me, sadly.
For older ladies, we could create a bingo wing brassiere.
Go on.
So it's like a bra, which is obviously going to have to be a bit more sportive because they're older. But it also stretches onto their arms and a bit further down, and it holds their bingo wings tightly against their arms. Makes them look more svelte. More like a cougar.
Well, are these the cougars that you would put in this photo booth? That people would have their photographs taken with?
This is going a bit red light district, isn't it?
Couldn't you just get one of them like tube socks? When you hurt your wrist or your knee, you could just get something that you pull over your sleeve, but you could almost have it like so it's like a sleeve tattoo.
Yeah.
So you could whack it up there, and it's like, look, I've got the Appetite for Destruction tattoo on my arm here. Look at that. Is bingo wings necessarily an issue for ladies of a certain age, or is it just the fact that you don't like looking at them? And is that horrible male gaze thing?
You're saying it's my problem and not theirs?
Yes, Neil Postman.
So what about if we release the product and if it does
John
well,
Burgess,
then it's their problem. If it doesn't sell, then it's my problem. Suck it and see, Rob.
Say what?
I said suck it and see.
They're bingo wings. Well, the thing is, I don't know. I mean, I think if there were a number of mature ladies who felt that was an issue, and they felt the need to want to have this particular type of intervention. Could it be, I mean, in terms of bingo wings, is it just an age thing in terms of like what causes that? Or is it like muscle wastage or something? Because I'm wondering within this this sleeve thing, you get those electronic things you put on your stomach muscles and they go bzz, 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 bzz. It could be that whilst they're wearing it, it does that thing, so it kind of helps tighten up their... I mean, they might be quite ripped afterwards and punch you in the face for saying, Tom, why are you looking at my bingo wings?
And maybe that would work. Maybe we could put these electronic suits that zap various parts of the body into your room with the small doors and windows. So they've got a choice of electrocuting themselves.
Well, that might be a bit cheating, mate, because it's just like, I can get my arm through now and just grab that bucket, that bargain bucket. But I suppose I won't be able to pull it through, but they can still help themselves to that chicken skin.
Go on, you give me another one.
Oh, I'll give you another one.
It's your turn.
Similar to going back to your narcissists, perhaps. Like a lot of people like to do selfies when they're doing like the bungees and bits, right?
Mm-hmm. You're back on the bungees.
Budgies.
Oh, budgies.
Bungees. Sorry, bungees. Boing.
Budgie smugglers.
Oh, no. Bungee jumping.
Okay.
They normally do it off bridges, over ridges, over rivers, I mean.
Over Jeff Bridges.
Over Jeff Bridges. And I just wondered whether, like, as part of, like, that thrill-seeking, what you do is one of the... you line up 10 of these bungee cords,
mm-hmm.
and then you work on the premise that one of them isn't actually attached to the bridge. And so these people are, they don't know. They sign off obviously a massive waiver. Don't know if we'd get insurance though as a start-up, or our Kickstarter fund would. Don't know, but
we can make our own insurance company and do our own insurance.
Yeah, and then we could just go file for bankruptcy when the big claim comes in, and just skip away from it, scot free.
Absolutely.
All right, well, put that in your back pocket. But the thing is, what it is that they're all attached, right? And say, for example, say you and I are the ones doing all of it, and we've had a heavy night, or we've been up late recording a podcast. We're a little bit kind of slack on attaching all of them. We forget, we get distracted by a lady wearing your invention of the bingo wings thing, or you get so enraged by someone doing some selfies.
Yeah.
We forget to attach one. Should that happen, and they plunge into the river, it's like smack or over a ravine or whatever it is, and worst case scenario is that they perish. We could say, well, that's what you signed up to. So
they would have signed the waiver.
Yeah. So
I'm still remarking at your use of the word perish.
Perish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just makes me think of bad underpants perishing.
Okay. Well, the thing is, we'd have to draw a short straw about who would have to scrape them up. So what do you think of my Russian roulette bungee jumping idea?
I think it worked better with Russian roulette sweets. I think if you had a bag of, say, minstrels or... What are the ones that get different flavours? Revels.
Oh,
and instead of getting worried because you might get the coffee flavour one, you get the Novichok flavour one. And you could have like...
But Tom, the coffee one's not going to kill you unless you're allergic to like coffee.
Yeah. The killing is the whole point, though, isn't it? It's the people who like to do things that are dangerous. They'll go onto YouTube or TikTok or whatever, and they'll have a bag of our sweets, and they know that one of them's in the bag has got Novichok in it. And how many of them...
sweet, probably the one with all the chocolate melted off of it.
The one that's glowing, yeah. It's like how many sweets into the bag are they willing to go before they stop because the odds are getting too slim? So there'd be so much advertising, free advertising on social networks and so forth. I think we'd be onto a winner there. It makes me think about because that's quite immoral if we were to do that. And
you could sell them outside your photo booth.
We could. That's immoral as well. But it makes me think about capitalism and the fact that sometimes making money, or often making money, morals aren't really considered as important. I mean, I suppose an example I'm thinking of recently is you heard of KSI and Logan Paul?
Are they the ones who done that Prime drink?
That's right, Prime, yeah. That's what I was thinking about. And it's basically completely marketed at kids, the guys who watch their social media. And it's just full of, like, taurine and...
Oh, it's massive amounts of caffeine, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
But they say, but it says on the side. And, taurine, because it's a stronger... Yeah.
And so, it's just... They're blatantly... I mean, they're doing it with vapes now as well. Like, vapes are just marketed at kids, with all the bright colours and things and the way they're sold in shops.
All the different flavours.
Yeah, so I thought, maybe we could jump on that bandwagon and sell these Russian roulette sweets or Russian roulette bungee jumping. Why can't we get in on the game? Why can't we surrender our morals?
Well, I was thinking if they're going to be like revels, generally you can tell which one is the minstrel because obviously like the flying saucer shape. The Malteser, the slightly larger one. It's only between the orange cream, the toffo, and the coffee cream.
The thing is that you're not going to know which one's got Novichok in it because we're not.
I know, but what I'm saying is, I'd be like, yeah, I'll do that challenge. Right, where's that one? That's like that one's big and light. That's got to be the Malteser crunch. Yeah,
dead. Because I would have put it in the Malteser.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
You made a reference to a past episode, and I'm going to make a reference to our last episode about conspiracy theories. You mentioned one about Walt Disney and Frozen, and that Disney only released Frozen to stop people being able to search Walt Disney freezing himself on the internet. So it got me thinking about
on the internet. I don't think the internet was around when Walt Disney did that.
You're quite right.
Or was in its early stages because it was quite.
Yeah. Well, you don't know what the Illuminati had access to before we knew about it.
Oh, that's
yeah. But anyway, I thought, forget cryogenics and selling this idea of being brought back to life after being frozen. I thought we could start a business where we offer a different kind of way of bringing people back to life in millions of years' time when the science is there. And I thought what we could do is we could get someone, they need to still be alive or just dead, and we lie them on the floor, preferably buried slightly in a hole, and we pour tree sap on them, lots of tree sap.
Right.
And then we bury them, and
Well, they're still alive though, right?
well, they can be alive when it happens. If they're alive when it happens, they're going to be as well preserved as possible. If they're just dead, pretty well preserved as well. But the important thing is we get them covered in tree sap on all sides, and then in millions of years' time, they would have turned into a ball of amber, and then the new dinosaur scientists, can take them out the amber and get their DNA and bring them back to life and put them on an island and have it as a theme park.
I was going to say, even if that couldn't happen, they could still make a good film about it, couldn't they?
They could, yeah.
Richie
What would it be called, though?
Attenborough, he could do. Oh, he's dead now, isn't he?
It would be the dinosaur equivalent of Richard Attenborough, because it would be the dinosaurs coming to visit us on the island. They would have gotten us out of the amber.
Oh, but the thing is, if say a Tyrannosaurus Rex is the one who's trying to do it, he's got his tiny little arms. He'd be like, fuck, I can't even.
Yeah. Well, they might, if they're this clever, they might have come up with their own AI, dinosaur AI, and the AI bots will do the things for them, or robots. They'll make the stuff happen, because they got shitty arms, haven't they? So they can't do it.
Well, when you're about to die, I'll pour tree sap on you.
Pour
and
tree
you
sap
let me
on
know
me.
in a million years' time.
Yeah.
Because time
Well, the thing
travel
is,
would have been invented by
the whole
then.
point
You
about it
come
is
back and
it's
let me
not so
know.
much us benefiting from it. We're selling this to rich people who want to preserve themselves, but cryogenics has gone a bit out of fashion. It's a bit weird. Whereas pouring tree sap on people, they'll be like, Jurassic Park.
You normally get all these politicians when there's a general election coming up or whatever it is, where they all stand around and they all have to argue against each other and they put their policies forward and they start coming up with these statements and everything else. What they should do is they should hook them all up to some form of shock, not on their testicles or anything, because they'll probably find it quite pleasurable, but something that really fucking hurts them, right? And so what it is that there's a real-time AI. So everything that they say, because generally what you have is that you would have these people do all their gubbins, spouting off all this rubbish, and then the show finishes, and it's the next day you get like the BBC fact checker. It's like, well, you've got to rely on people to click on that, but at the same time, it's like, well, no, my mind's already made up. I'm not going to change my mind. So as these politicians are talking, or whoever it is talking in a public nature to do with information spreading or anything else like that, there is a real-time check. If there's like a blatant lie or falsehood and stuff like that to do with the number of this, that and the others or everything else, they'll be like, they get a massive shock and it says, right, no, this is the truth, you're actually lying, and we can prove to you that this is the strategy. Because then what it is that hopefully through this,
They start telling the truth.
they wouldn't want to get any more shocks, and then suddenly they become more truthful, and it just makes it that just making sure that all the statements that they're saying are true, so then people are well informed. Because what you're finding is there's that whole thing of like, oh, well, it was my best knowledge at the time, and if you can present that to them and say, well, no, it's wrong, then that gives them that chance to change their mind. Or if they continue to say, actually, no,
I think the problem is it would turn into a bloodbath because they tell so many lies. I mean, imagine Boris Johnson on it. You'd just be like, he'd be like an X-ray. You'd just be able to see his bones.
Well, this is the
Zapping him so
thing.
much.
But at the same time, it allows people to literally see through him, because it'll be like, right, you've completely lied, and it's an independent body where all this AI stuff is, but it's like having that stuff in real time to allow this whole thing of like, actually, regardless of what people in the audience say or the panel say or anything else, you've got something which is the truth. And it's like, boom.
Okay, so I don't know. What happens if you get like a confabulist, someone who believes his lies?
Well, he just gets like, really badly
He'll
hurt.
get electrocuted, and it'll be really sad for him because he thinks he's telling the truth.
Well, he could be corrected, and if he's that stupid enough not to believe, something different to what he's being presented with, then more fool him. Do you know what I mean? It's like, well, we are laying this out to you, we can back it up with all this data, all these facts. If you are still, content on spatter, then what it is, you just say, well, we're removing you from the talk because, everyone can see in the audience, on the TV and everything, and people can go off and check it as well. You can send links to people's phones or their computers whilst they're doing it. So it's like, right, here is the paper, here is this, fact that you can double check at your own leisure to ensure that what we're saying is the truth. And so, I've said it again. Those people who at home are still not believing, well, the AI, it's skewed, it's been hacked by Russia or anything else.
Or the
Yes, they can go off and do their own research using the stuff that is presented to them. But yeah, that is my kind of election AI. We need to get programming.
We do. Can you program?
No, but we need to get to learn how to program. Then we need to start programming.
You didn't ask me if I could program.
Can you program?
No.
All right. I knew you couldn't program.
How did you know? I might have been doing it secretively in night school.
I thought you just learned to ride a horse and wear armour. That concludes our wonderful ideas. Now is the time of the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, or however you identify, in that we ask 5 questions and we take it in turns.
We take it in turns. Oh, we take it in turns to ask.
We take it in turns to answer a set of 5 questions. So
That's called a quiz in my book.
All right, then that's fine. In your book. All right, so I have 5 questions for you, Tom. And your forfeit is to have a bit of Marmite, which I don't like. And do you like it?
I hate it.
Right, so what we're going to do is, so as I said, there's 5 questions. And they're all based on you, Tom. Right? You just had a whiff.
Just had a whiff, it's horrid.
Yeah. Do you know, it looks like this shit that someone scraped from a lifelong smoker's lungs and put into a jar, right?
Yes.
Yeah, just trying to make it more appetising for you.
It's like gone off Bovril.
Well, yeah. So, as I said, the 5 questions are all about you, Tom. And so every time you get one wrong, you have to take a teaspoon. If you get them all wrong, it's a big, full teaspoon at the end.
Is it?
Yeah. Do you need to get a cup of tea?
No, I've got some whiskey left.
All right, good for you. Because I did think about that. You should get yourself one of them Sports Direct mugs, because they're massive.
What, of whiskey?
No, of tea. They're like massive. Yeah. You have to carry it with 2 hands. One thing I can't understand about Sports Direct, though, right? It's a sports shop, yeah? And yet they have escalators in them to go up 1 flight of stairs.
Yeah.
That's like lazy bastards.
They're selling all the gear for fat people to get thin, isn't it? So they got to cater for the fat people. Oh, we're fat shaming again. We've got to stop this fat shaming.
I'm not. Mine's about how to help them if they volunteer. You're fat shaming. So questions, they're all about you, Tom, specifically around our time at university.
I'm intrigued.
So I'm going to take the lid off of my Marmite just in case you surprise me. And, that is quite foul, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, right, the first question. Are you ready, Tom?
I'm ready.
Right. What was the name of the Weatherspoons pub we used to go to in Tunbridge Wells?
Tunbridge Wells? What do you mean? Or Tunbridge?
Tunbridge Wells.
Oh, I was going to say the one in Tunbridge.
No, not the one in Tunbridge. I'd have said the one in Tunbridge if I meant the one in Tunbridge. Tunbridge Wells.
I can't remember where the one it was in Tunbridge Wells. I'm going to guess the King's Leotard.
No. Close. The Opera House.
Oh, of course it was, yeah.
Little bit of Marmite. You can just put on the tip. Just the tip. That's what I like to say.
That's what you say to all the
Oh, look at that. Enjoy.
It's like eating engine oil. It's terrible.
Well, that's next show. And it's quite. Oh, you got quite you got like a very brown tongue now.
That's. Oh.
Right, you've got 4 questions left, Tom. You better get some of these right, huh? Question 2. In the third year of university, you let me cut off your long hair. What was the song you requested to be played on the stereo whilst I undertook my barbering?
Comfortably Numb.
No, it was Echoes
Oh.
by Pink Floyd.
I'm not taking so much this time, just that wasn't left on the spoon. There.
No, you're not taking what's left on the spoon. Just dip it in.
It was quite repulsive, Rob.
I know it is. Well, so is your memory.
It is terrible.
Go on, put it in.
You got any proof it was that song?
Yeah, I've got a video of me cutting your hair. I will post it. I can do a little video excerpt and whack it on Instagram. All right, third question. Right, this is an easy one. All right. The first week back in our third year, we were in the Students' Union playing an arcade game when Owen came up to you and offered you outside for a fist fight. What was the name of the arcade game?
That was Time Crisis 2.
You son of a bitch.
How can I forget that?
Right, here you go. Look, that's mine. I've done
Oh, that's going to hurt. That's a lot.
That's a generous bit, isn't it? Oh.
Yeah, I wouldn't eat that much. I don't know why I'm helping you, but
It won't come off the spoon.
that means you've got to lick it off.
Oh, my God. Oh, look at that. That looks like bile. Oh, my God. Right, here goes. That is so bloody salty.
That's something else, isn't it? It's horrid.
Oh, it's making my jaw tingle. Oh, flipping heck. Yeast extract. Yeast extracted from what? Backside of a fucking animal.
You licked it again. You're mental.
Oh, I like a clean spoon. There's something. I'm very anal. Oh my God.
It is quite horrid, isn't it?
Question 4. Christ, I've got a horrible taste in my... our third year project was to make a documentary, which we did on Neil Innes from the Bonzo Dog Duda band fame. What was the name of the other 2 people in our group? Get your spoon ready.
Catherine and...
Surname?
What?
And the surname?
I got one right. Was it Catherine?
Yeah, you got to get her surname right.
That was a guess.
Oh, was it?
Catherine
Oh, Catherine is right. Damn. All right, I'll tell you what. I'll be fair, and if you get the first name of the second one right, you won't have to, and I'll have another go at the Marmite. So, think.
I got half it right. I think just guessing Catherine is enough not to move on.
You got to get the other name right. So Catherine and
Claire.
no, it's a different letter. Think middle of the alphabet-ish. I'm helping you out here.
Jenny.
No, it was Louise.
How do you remember that shit?
I didn't. I had to go on to the Neil Innes documentary.
Oh, that's disgraceful.
I know. I had to check.
You can't even remember it yourself.
Well, these are questions for you. This is your life. How's the third one going down? Oh. It's quite... you got quite the gag reflex on you, Tom. Have a drink. How does your whiskey taste with this shit? Has that ruined your drink?
The drink was beautiful. It just gets rid of it.
All right, well, look, there's a final question coming up, right? But there are 8 answers to it. So in our second year of university, we were in a band briefly called the Hidden Agendas, right? And we performed at the end of year party, and we had a set list of 8 songs. So in no particular order, you have to tell me what those songs were.
Do I get if I get a proportion of them, that's okay, isn't it? I don't have to get them all, do I?
You have to get them all right, yeah.
So, Fat Old Son.
Fat Old Son, correct.
Wish You Were Here.
Yes, correct.
Comfortably Numb.
Correct. We were like a Pink Floyd covers band. You know, I was once
We were.
in a predictable Rolling Stones tribute band. Satisfaction guaranteed.
Missouri.
Yes.
Wild Thing.
Yes.
Then you did a medley of 3 songs.
Yes, I did.
Does that make up the 8?
No. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right so far. Fat Old Son, Wild Thing, Missouri, Wish You Were Here and Comfortably Numb. My medley, can you remember? I'll let you guess one of them, of the 3.
You see, it's such a pivotal moment in my
Music career.
life, music career.
I think it was the highest.
I'm such a bad friend.
Yeah, let's just get through it.
No, I just don't know.
All right. And there's one more Pink Floyd song that we did.
Did we? Wait. We didn't do enough Brick in the Wall, did we?
No. We kind of opened with it. Actually, there's a song when we performed it live. When I was introducing us, you were playing a song.
Oh, is there anybody out there?
Yes, there was anybody out there. But before that, because that you did, is there anybody out there? Then that led into Fat Old Son. But during the intros, you were playing a song on the guitar.
No, it's gone.
Green Sleeves.
Never. Did I play
You
that?
played Green Sleeves. So the full set list, and I have a recording of our gig, which we can post to YouTube should we wish, is Green Sleeves, as I do the introductions. Is there anybody out there? Fat Old Son, Wild Thing, Missouri, and then there was a medley of Dream Lover, Be My Baby, and Stay. Then we did Wish You Were Here, because Christian Apthke came on stage to perform. Can you remember when he was, I think it was someone's party, and to impress the girls, he got the guitar out and he could only play 3 chords, and he did like a 20-minute version of Knock Knock Knocking on Heaven's Door. And all the girls were like, oh,
I love you, Christian.
you and your long hair. And me, I was like, fuck off. And then we finished with Comfortably Numb. Right. I will have some Marmite to spare you.
Thank you.
Oh,
You're a good friend. You're proving it.
Yeah. All right, here we go. This is quite gross, though.
It's absolutely repulsive.
That is the most repulsive thing. How salty it is, I think, puts me off. Oh, rich in I can't even speak properly. That concludes the episode for this show. Do we know what we're going to be doing next time?
No, it is a mystery.
The intrigue is there, listeners. We will be back.